it's me again. I don't really know how to start this video. I've spent the last couple of days like playing this out in my head, practicing in front of the mirror, like how am I going to start this video. It's not so much anything other than just I don't really know what to say first. From you guys' standpoint, nothing's changed. The weekly schedule is still up and coming. This is supposed to be the third so far, so the schedule is still running. My hair is pink now. I mentioned that in another video that I filmed before, but this one's getting streamlined to the front. So my hair's pink. Can't really see it in this lighting because it's kind of late at night. I just kind of wanted to make something tonight. Should probably just start at the beginning. It's Saturday now, just to kind of keep the timeline in order. Monday night, I had dinner with my parents. This is a regular occurrence. Nothing weird about that at all. But I kind of noticed when I got home that my ears were ringing, like really badly, like really loud. And I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, you know, I'm just probably just tired. You know, weird shit happens when you're tired. So I just kind of like set it aside. I went to sleep. It took a little while because it was kind of hard to sleep with the ringing. But I go to sleep, and then a few hours later, it couldn't have been that long because it was still like pitch black out. I woke up because I shifted in my sleep, and I was immediately super dizzy and incredibly nauseous just from like a little shift. And whenever I shifted even that little bit, from then on, my whole world was spinning out of control, and I felt like I was going to throw up for basically the whole rest of the night. I didn't get very much sleep because every time I started to go back to sleep, I'd like, you know, fall into the sleep a bit, and that would be enough to wake me up and make me feel sick again. So it was probably 9-ish in the morning is when I finally was like, okay, it's time to do something about this. I'm obviously not going to get more sleep. So I rolled over, which was an incredibly shitty experience. I rolled over, I grabbed my phone, and I called my mom. Because what else do you do when something weird and inexplicable happens to your body? Is you call your mother. And I was just like, I can't move. Like, I can barely do anything. My ears were still ringing incredibly loud. We had to switch to text because I actually couldn't hear what she was saying. So she called the doctor and made an appointment with me. I've got a general practitioner, so I was able to get in with him, luckily, on the same day. So she made an appointment for that for later in the morning, and she was like, I'm going to be over right away. I'm just finishing up an errand. I'm going to come by. So she comes by, hands me some pants so that I can awkwardly shuffle these pants on without moving my head. I can move anything else. Like, any other part of my body is fine. It's just whenever I move my head, I just get so dizzy. So I get the pants on, we sit me up, and we move me to the couch. Now, I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I live in a one-room apartment. So my house isn't actually that messy, so I'm just going to turn the look. So that's my couch, that section right there. You can see it popping over the hope chest thing. That's my couch. I'm literally holding the webcam just as far away from the couch as it is from my face. So that's my couch. It's like maybe 5 feet away from my bed. And I also forgot to do this at the beginning of the video. If you have any sort of reaction to hearing about vomit, you should like not watch this, because the next couple minutes I'm going to be like talking about it just a little bit. I'm not going to go into explicit detail, just like vomit happens. So I get to the couch. This is your fair warning. I get to the couch and I throw up. I had said, hey mom, you should get me a bucket as soon as she got in, I was like, just this is gonna be bad. I know this is gonna happen today. So I get to the couch, I throw up. It is incredibly unpleasant. I'm just sitting on the couch and I'm like, there's like an hour until my doctor's appointment. It doesn't take an hour to get there in the car. So I'm kind of like, what do I do now? We're just kind of sitting there trying to talk, trying to keep my mind off of it, trying to figure out what's going on. And eventually we're just like, you know what, why don't we just head over there? Maybe because I'm this sick, they'll get me in quickly. So we get me downstairs, because I live in an attic suite, of course. We get me downstairs to the car. More throw up. I'm having to like close my eyes during the whole car ride to the doctor's office because it's just like, it is the worst like motion sickness I've ever had. It's just like, it was disgusting. It was so gross. I felt like crap. I don't think there's really a whole lot else to say. It is maybe the worst I've ever felt. Like, I've been in pain. This wasn't pain. This was just bad. Feels bad, you know? So we get to the doctor's office. From the car into the waiting room, more vomit. So I'm just like sitting there throwing up in the waiting room. And I'm like sweating. I'm still in my pajamas, mind. And I'm just sweating and my hair is clinging to my face and it's just, I'm a mess. So the receptionist gets me into a room immediately. And the doctor is in there within another couple minutes. And of course, waiting room to the exam room, more vomit is happening. The doctor comes in like very quickly, which is really nice because usually it takes about an hour for him to see me, just because, you know, the doctor situation, I think it's pretty well similar all across North America right now, in Canada and the US, but here it's like, we don't have enough doctors, so it's just, it takes forever to see them even if you've got an appointment. But this was incredibly quickly, which was really nice. So I'm laying there, I'm throwing up, I'm telling him all my symptoms, telling him what happened, and he's just like, I know what you got. You have, now I had to ask my mom later because I couldn't hear him, and also I was throwing up, so it's kind of hard to hear people when your ears are ringing and you're currently barfing. So what I have, it's still, it's on its way out, so I've still got acute labyrinthitis, which is caused by a virus, and what it's done is it's affected my inner ear. One of the nerves that deals with balance in my inner ear has become incredibly inflamed, which causes incredible vertigo, which is the dizziness, sometimes enough to induce nausea, which is obviously the problem that I was having, along with tinnitus.
What? Yeah, ha ha ha, grown-ups. Keep moving your lips without... What? Mom. Excuse me. Mom.
Which is the ringing. So, he gave me some injectable Gravol. He just like, in the room, just like shot me up with it, because obviously I wasn't going to be able to keep it down if I tried to swallow it. So he just put it in my arm and was like, gave my mom some more, because my dad's a veterinarian, so like my parents are pretty familiar with needles. My mom was like, it's cool, I can just, as long as it's just like a quick jab, no problem. Didn't have to find a vein, it just goes into the muscle of my deltoid right there. So it was like, cool, just jab it in, no problem. He gives my mom more Gravol for me just in case. And so the other prescriptions I'm sent home with are an anti-nausea, or anti-vertigo, sorry, an anti-vertigo medication that also causes some drowsiness, which I definitely felt, and a course of steroids to bring down the inflammation in my ear. So we go home with that. Well, actually, we get me back out to the car. I throw up some more. So definitely a good thing that I had the injectable Gravol, because I would have been immediately useless if I had swallowed it. And I just sit out in the car, like, fucking miserable. And my mom goes to the pharmacy to get the prescriptions. I kind of start passing out in the car, because the injectable Gravol kicks in faster, obviously, than if you'd swallowed it. Just because it gets into the bloodstream faster if it's through the muscles than through the stomach. I'm sure everyone knows this, but I'm just like, here's some medical facts for you. So I'm kind of passing out in the car, which is actually kind of nice. I'm really appreciating it, because I'd rather be asleep than vomiting. So it's cool. It takes my mom a little while in the pharmacy. They've got to figure some stuff out. There was an intern there that was kind of a little bit slower, but it was fine. I didn't mind. My mom didn't mind. It was, you know, it is what it is. You do what you can. So she comes back into the car, and then we head home. I feel like we head home from there. Back to her house, of course, not to my house. I'm lucky enough to live in the same town still as my parents. I didn't move away for school or anything like that, not too far. So we go back to my parents' house, from the car to the couch, vomit. And so I didn't take anything, because it was all the rest of it was ingestible, so I didn't take anything right away. But the Gravol had been, like, it was super kicking in. So I go to the couch, I just, like, kick out the foot thing that couches have, and I slept for 7 hours? I slept, like, all afternoon and well into the evening. So that was cool. I have not done that in a long time. So then I took the steroids and the anti-vertigo medication. And I kind of just stayed up and quietly was, like, talking to people, like my family, because all the rest of my siblings still live at home, so I was, like, talking to my parents, my family, and just kind of, like, having a quiet time. Still incredibly dizzy whenever I move my head, more than at all. Like, I could move my eyes, no problem. Like, I can move my eyes, or could. Now, obviously, I'm quite a bit better. I could move my eyes, no problem, but as soon as my head moved even a little bit, it was like I was in the fucking Gravitron. It was a disaster. So not many hours later, a couple hours after that, I'm like, okay, can I have some more Gravol? I'd like to go to sleep now. So I get more Gravol, I pass out, and basically since then I've just been camping on my parents' couch. I had to skip work on Wednesday. I went in Thursday morning because I had to. I was the only one with a key to open. So I was basically just like, I just camped out behind the cash register, just like, hey everybody, I feel like shit, let me know if you need help, but you gotta come here. Like, I moved a chair. I was like in a chair for 3 hours until someone else came in, and I was like, alright, I know I'm supposed to be here for another 2, but I'm not gonna be here, goodbye. So I went home as soon as physically possible. And then yesterday I worked a full 5, but I've been like getting better. I didn't go to school since Tuesday, just because like my campus is rather large, and I've been having trouble walking on account of the dizziness, and also just being so tired from being dizzy as well. Since the dizziness has ceased to be the biggest issue, I've still got tinnitus in my right ear. It's still super loud, and I'm mostly deaf, actually. Like I can't really hear anything out of this side of my head right now, which is really disorienting, actually. All the sound is coming in from here, and so I can't tell where anything's coming from. It all sounds like it's over there, or kind of like in the void. is where noise is. So I've been having a really tough time hearing people, which is also not going to be fun when I have to go back to classes on Monday. But, so I've not been going to school. I'm like, there's no point. It's also incredibly hard to get to school from my parents' house, which is another reason I moved out. It's just because they live really far away from my school. So, all these factors combined, I've been sleeping on my parents' couch. I wasn't even sleeping in my old bedroom at their house because it's downstairs, and they don't really have much of a banister, so I didn't really trust myself to get there. Just on the couch, in the living room. So, that's been less fun. I got a cane, though, which has been really useful if I feel dizzy or if I'm getting too tired to, like, walk properly, because I'm running out of spoons, which is not something I say very often because I don't suffer from chronic pain, and my depression is not bad enough to need spoon theory, I think, but it's just been, like, very little normal everyday things have been using up a lot of my energy, and I've just been having a lot of naps just because I'm so tired all the time, just because my body's trying to recover and it's using up all my energy without my permission. So yeah, today's my first night back in my house. My cats are avoiding me because they're mad that I've been gone for so long. My mom's been coming in and feeding them every morning, which has been really, really nice of her. So they're fine. They're just pissed off at me for not being around, which is fair. They'll be fine tonight. But I'm just like, I even debated not doing this video tonight. I was like, I should just go to sleep. I'm fucking tired. But I just wanted to get it out there and just, here we go. This is what has happened to me. Yay. So yeah, I'm just kind of a little frustrated because this is honestly the longest I've ever been sick before. I was in the hospital for a couple weeks in high school, but that was it. Otherwise, I've never been sick seriously for more than a day or two at max. I mean, like, I'll get a sniffle for a couple weeks at a time, but I've never been debilitated like this before, and it's really wearing on me. Like, I'm not liking it. I kind of feel like I've got so much stuff to catch up on now, and it's kind of bogging me down, especially because I've still got a little bit of dizziness and still a little bit of ringing in my ears. It just feels like I'm just getting kind of fatalistic, you know? It's like, I don't know when this will be over. I googled the WebMD, I think it was the website I was on, with the WebMD page for labyrinthitis says the worst of the symptoms should be gone in a couple of days, which is what I've experienced. But it could take a couple of weeks for everything to settle down, and a few months to not feel any vertigo anymore. Like, I'll have to be careful not to move my head too quickly for months, apparently. And I'm not too pleased with that, because obviously I got shit to do. I have a job that involves quite a bit of moving. I am in my final year of university, which involves quite a bit of, well, moving and also listening and using your brain, which is hard to do when you're tired as fuck. So I'm just kind of hoping that this will all slowly go away. I'm not feeling any immediate, like, oh, I'm better this morning, or this is immediately better that I can tell. It's very gradual, which I'm really not liking, because I want to be better. Now, thanks. As it stands, obviously not going to happen, so we'll just have to see how this goes. Please let me know if you notice that the audio is off in any of my videos from here on, like if anything's way too loud or too quiet, or the equalizing's not working. Ariel's not doing her job. Just let me know if that's off, because again, I can't hear anything, so it might, like, I'm going to do my best to just, like, edit with the one side, but if it's off, please let me know. I will do what I can to fix it. I don't want y'all to suffer just because I have to. So I think that's it. I think that's all I gotta say. If you have ever had anything like this, please let me know. Share your experiences. Tell me how quickly you got better, or if you're just experiencing it now, maybe we can kind of go through this at the same time, like cheer each other on kind of deal. But just know that if you're going through this, I am here. You are not alone. Please tell me I'm not alone. Just know you're not alone if you're going through this, if you've gone through this. Because I've never heard of this thing before. And personally, I think it's bullshit when you get something, some sort of virus or infection that you've never heard of. That's not fair. Bitch, there's so much shit I could have gotten that I know what it is. And I gotta get the one thing that makes me think I got bit by some sort of radioactive spider. I thought I was dying. Or having a stroke. Or something. I was really worried. So just know that it's okay. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna feel better. I want to say I'm going to try and get a second video out this week just because this one's a little different than normal. But that really depends because I'm working a lot this week. It's just bad timing to have to work a lot. And I've got school stuff to catch up on as well. Just because I missed the whole week of school. So it's basically a really shitty week for me coming up. So while I want to say I'll get another video out, I don't want to promise that at all. So we'll see. I'll definitely see you next week. But as far as it is, this is what we've got for now. I hope you guys are having a better time than I am. I hope you've had a decent week. I hope you've been surrounding yourself with people who love you and doing things that make you happy. I really hope that I can get back into that kind of groove. I've been very lucky to have my family around to help me out and do everything that I needed in that week. I know that not as many people are as lucky as I am in that regard. But I hope that we can all be back to our true selves soon and just put this all behind us and pretend that it never fucking happened. Okay, I will see you guys later. So it is bye for now from me.